We're here today to announce charges in the cases we passed out to you: solicitation to commit murder, criminal attempt to commit murder, stalking, possession of instrument of crime, and possession of a GPS tracking device against a Lonnie Deppen, who is a white male, 42 years of age, involving a fairly extensive and extremely disturbing case. All my comments, keep in mind that at this point in time we're just announcing charges, and Mr. Deppen is presumed to be innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This case stemmed from a relationship between Mr. Deppen and a Robin, is it Roach? How do you pronounce her last name? Rochow. That went on for a couple years, approximately 3 years. About 2 months ago, she ended that relationship with him, and he began to stalk her extensively, following her, text messages, calling her, to the point, as we've outlined in the affidavit, where he was apparently using disguises and then a rental car to follow her to place of work and other places. She eventually reported this to Clay Township Police Department, who began investigating it. The stalking escalated on October the 19th when she found a device attached to the bottom of her car, which of course she was concerned about. The Pennsylvania State Police responded, their ordnance division, and examined it, concerned that it was a bomb. It was not, fortunately, a bomb. It turned out to be a GPS tracking device. So he had affixed a tracking device to her car, and he admitted to multiple people that he had done this to stalk her and to follow her whereabouts throughout the course of the day and where she went. So he continued to do that. On that same day, a PFA was obtained by Judge Hackman, issued a PFA to keep him away from the victim in this case, the intended victim in this case. But things got worse from there. And a Tracy Ella went to the state police because she was concerned from this defendant's, Mr. Deppen's, contacts with her. She was disturbed enough to go to the police, and that he had admitted to putting the GPS tracking device on her car to follow her, and he had asked her to be an alibi for him because he was thinking of murdering the victim. He then escalated the discussions. They increased to the point where he discussed with Ms. Ella about finding a hitman to take care of what he wanted to take care of because he was apparently upset at the end of the relationship. She worked with the state police. Clay Township contacted our office, and we were in contact with the Ephrata Police Department as well in this investigation. And this was entirely a collaborative effort by law enforcement agencies in Lancaster County because we had a number of jurisdictions. Yesterday, what we ended up doing was essentially calling the Lancaster County Drug Task Force to assist and to set up a consensual wire with Tracy Ella and Mr. Deppen. And what that basically means is record the phone conversations. She contacted him following up on his request to find a hitman, and these conversations are recorded and monitored. He indicated that he still wanted to go through with that with Miss Ella. She was at the police station making the phone calls while this was going on, of course unbeknownst to him. And arrangements were made for him to meet the alleged hitman that last evening between 9 and 9:30 at the Ephrata Walmart in the parking lot. We had a detective from the Lancaster County Drug Task Force act as the hitman, who was to be known as Rick. In an undercover capacity, obviously, we wired the vehicle that he was in so it would record the conversation. Miss Ella gave him instructions as to how to find and identify the hitman and meet him in the parking lot. If he was going to go through with this and that money would be involved, it was to be $1,200 with $200 down for taking her life. We had surveillance vehicles in place. We had security measures for in the event of anything going wrong. Obviously, this was a tremendously dangerous situation, and this officer put his life on the line for this. He showed up. Mr. Deppen showed up, got into the vehicle with the undercover officer, talked about the specifics of how he wanted the murder to take place, and he suggested to the point where of suggesting that the best time to do it would be in the morning when she would be out walking her dog. He gave $200 to the undercover with the understanding there'd be a $1,000 down payment subsequent to that. to the event, to killing her. And shortly thereafter, he was taken into custody after he exited the car by members of the Ephrata Police Department and the county detectives. And that brings us to today. He was taken early morning hours to DJ Rod Hartman and arraigned on the charges. I believe his bail is set at $1 million, and he remains incarcerated in Lancaster County Prison today, where he belongs.